Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, HEINEKEN Beverages family. I'm your host today, and I have the great privilege of having a wonderful discussion with two ladies who build and who have had an enormous impact on our organization. So I would love to welcome Miss Karlien, Miss Ramona. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you ladies feeling today?
Lovely. It's lovely to be here. Thank you for the opportunity. And we are standing on the shoulders of many women before us, and it's just a privilege to be here.
Absolutely. I love that. Welcome. Ramona, good morning.
Morning. Thank you for having me. Very excited to be here as well. As you said, there's a lot of work that's already been done within the Heineken company. So we're here to just take that forward.
Awesome, awesome. You know, I'm always impressed with women in spaces that are not naturally women-centric. So in the supply kind of organization and the business, in sales, those are generally quite male-dominated environments. And yet, we've got two outstanding women that have made amazing careers in this space. I'd love to start off by asking you, what does it take? What does it take to have achieved what you have achieved? What characteristics, what values?
So for me, in the journey that I've had, I've been a lot of the time the only woman in rooms full of males, and it had to be a lot of self-talk. So talking myself through things, and because it's a path that's not clear. You're trailblazing a path that's not clear, and so you have to get into a space where you trust yourself, and you're going to be able to say, listen, this is what I stand for, and this is what I'm going to come forward with. For me, it's always been a case of letting my work speak for itself. So when I go into these rooms and there's a lot of males that are in high positions, I always make sure that I go in prepared. So I go in and I try to meet them where they are, not where I come from. So I make sure that I'm fully prepared, that I know my numbers, that I know what I'm talking about. And sometimes I took it a little bit to the extreme, and I put a lot of pressure on myself. Absolutely. Because I held this thing that, I am the only woman here, but I am representing everybody else. And I put that kind of pressure on myself, and I think I overdid it. And so that, reflecting now, I think women today just need to be a little bit easier on themselves. And, they have people like us who can always, assist them on the way and, help them to take things to the next level without putting all that pressure. Because when you put that pressure on yourself, sometimes you end up being either a little bit too arrogant or a little bit too, you have too much of self-doubt. And you don't need either of those things. Yeah. So you move through the process, and you come to a space where I am like right now, and I feel more confident, and it's real confidence rather than what I used to feel.
Absolutely. I love your very practical thing about preparing. Before you go into a room, you must prepare. And preparation can be a good thing, but it can also be a bad thing, because then you're so kind of caught up in wanting to be right, potentially, yes, rather than participating and contributing. But flowing. Yes, but I think that's a really good reflection. And also, it's a journey. So we all start off in a certain way, and then you end up somewhere else. Karlien, what about you?
Yes, I can only build on what Ramona have said.
Yes.
And it's about that being authentic self, coming into a room full of male colleagues and owning your space, sitting at that table and knowing that you've worked to get that space, and now you have to own it. You sometimes have to speak a little bit louder and maybe say it twice for our male colleagues to hear us, but that is what we have to do, and we have to have that confidence to do it, not just for ourselves, like you said, but for the other women that also looks at us and wants us all to succeed and to rise.
No, I mean, I've seen you in meetings, Karlien. So we sit at times in the sales leadership meeting together, and I agree with you. You do own your space. You are very talented at what you do. You have great passion for what you do, and you see the connections. between between the kind of different teams and everything. So I see exactly what you mean by that. So tell me a little bit about the thing that you have done, Karlien, the thing you've built that you're most proud of. And I'm sorry I'm not following the questions.
That's okay.
But what are you most proud of having built?
Yes, and I reflected on this question a lot because we've all been in the industry a while. I've got 18 years of working experience, and I have achieved a lot. I've been part of transformational projects. I've achieved a lot of good awards, like we've said. But on the end, what I am most proud of is creating an environment where people can thrive, and people can bring themselves authentically and share and feel safe to do so. And it didn't come naturally. I am an introvert from myself, and it took time to be able to share a vision and make people part of it, and get people to go on the journey with me. So what I am most proud of is the ability now to create that space for people to feel safe, to contribute, and to be part of a vision that we've set for the team.
That is such an inspiration, because sometimes we think of achievement as things that we've done. Yes. But actually creating an environment is actually probably the most important role that a leader has. Tell me a little bit about when it clicked. When was it that you realized that actually I can create an environment, I can articulate a vision that people will buy into?
Yeah, there's a few aha moments, as Oprah would say. So the first one is, if I go back to my previous experience in 3M, the then MD Naresh Sanjeev told me, and we know this, but he had to again tell me that people don't come to work to disrupt or to fail. Everyone comes to contribute. We all want to believe in a dream and a purpose. And if there's people that is team members that is not contributing as they should, it's because somewhere they broke or they were disappointed in the journey. And me as a leader's role is to find each person's role and contribution based on their capability. So that was for me the change of how I led, is to say it's about the team, and everyone will not arrive the way I do. And I need to find everyone's uniqueness to create that end puzzle. So that was the first big realization for me. And secondly, I'm very blessed to have gone on a Lean Six Sigma course. I'm a black belt and not in the ninja ones. Yes, in the continuous process improvement world.
I know the Six Sigma. I just look at it from far.
And that gave me the process. And I am supply chain, I'll be very process driven. That gave me the steps to be able to take people on the dream. So I maybe know what's that end state, where I want to get to, but Lean Six Sigma gives you the process. Change management, communication plans, people, how to take the people on the journey. So it's a bit of yes, you need to know that everyone can contribute in their own special way, and then follow the process. Sometimes if you're not sure, then that process will guide you.
Yeah, that's really amazing, because what you're saying is, firstly, have the insight, understand what you're dealing with, see the good, and get the best out of the person. But in order for the rubber to hit the road, as a leader, you have to have a plan on how you're going to bring everybody along. And if you've got the black belt, use the black belt. If you don't, figure something else out. Ramona, what are you most proud of having built?
There's so many things I'm proud of, both in my career and outside of it. I think for me, the most important thing has been being courageous. And that has translated into many kinds of projects. So things, unfortunately, for me, it's all about results. And I'm still in that space where, it's like that is a very, very crucial part of my career, and how I show up is based on what I'm going to get out of it, both for myself, but also for the company. And so my career so far has really been focused on results. And so I'm proud of those results. And initially I used to be so competitive, and I was very individually focused, very internally focused. It was all about me, and it was about what am I going to get. And so, also winning awards. If there was an award, I was going to win it. So, and that continued for a very, very long time. And, I think because of those results, I was able to move very quickly in my roles. And then it transitioned. And I realized, you're not going to go further without the rest of the people. And then I thought to myself, you know what, I don't even know how to do that. I don't even know how to move from competitive mindset and individual to more of a collective.
Okay.
And so it didn't take me, it wasn't a short period. It was something that took a long time for me to really digest and to really truly believe it in myself, because I used to be that person that if it was going to get done to the best standard, it was going to be me. And I'm telling you the truth, that's how I was.
No, I love it. I love these candid conversations, yeah?
And then when I moved into the space of the collective, I had to fake it a little bit initially and be like, okay, let me just bring people along first and see how that goes. And people surprised me, and I was like, damn, this could actually work better, because they could bring in even more value, and we could win in a bigger way. And so that was when it dawned on me, you know what, you got to cut this shit, and you got to move in a way that is going to help you to win as a collective. And that is when I realized that there is magic that each person brings. And there's stuff that I have limitations on.
Absolutely.
And other people will be able to take that to another level. And so that's when I think I became wiser, and now I want to surround myself with people that are more intelligent than me, more experienced than me, just people that are going to be able to take everything to the next level, because I have ideas, and then they are the ones that actually take it further.
No, what I love about this conversation is, when we were talking, we started off, this is Women's Month, we're going to talk about women. Women are not homogenous. Yes, we're all women and we have that in common, but we show up differently, and our journeys are different, and our journeys are valid. And so I love your vulnerability and saying, well, I started off being super competitive and being about the I, and it dawned on me that if I am more about the we, I can win even more. So you've stayed true to who you are, which is a winner, right? But you're bringing everyone around with you. So I think that's an amazing lesson. I'm going to ask one. It's a little bit risque. Tell me a little bit about, because often, women in leadership get put on a pedestal. They've got their stuff together. They've never struggled. Tell me about one failure that you've had in your career and what you've learned from it. Because I think that's what makes great leaders, is being able to fail, but then to learn. Take us a little bit through that journey. I'll start with Ramona.
Sure.
Yes. Karlien, I'll give you some time. How's that?
Thank you.
I could see.
So a major failure has been imposter syndrome.
Okay.
Where I tried to replicate other people's leadership styles, because I didn't have my own.
Yes.
So I ended up in a space where I've been individual contributor, and then I had a team. And I was tackling that team the way I was tackling myself. I was hard on myself.
Yeah.
And I was hard on them. And I had high standards on myself, and I had high standards of them. And I wasn't seeing the magic of every individual. And then the only thing I was able to do was, okay, I don't know how to be a leader. I wasn't trained on being a leader, so let me look at the leaders that I like and try and do the same thing. And that was a major fail because it took away from my authenticity. It took away from who I truly was. And so it came across. And I think it came across as being like very cold and very detached almost. And I mean, I even had some some titles that people used to call me because it was that bad. And so I didn't learn the lesson immediately either. So another vulnerable opportunity. I continued, and then I continued to like find other people's magic and try to replicate it, and it every time did not work until I think it was a conversation I had with an MD at the bottler, and he said to me, "Listen, can you please stop with this bullshit?" And I was like, "What do you mean?" And he's like, "Listen, we want you for who you are. We want you to lead with what you know and who you are. And what we're seeing you do is completely not what that is.
Okay.
So can you please take some time, go reflect on this, and come back and be yourself." And you know, along my career, a lot of people said that to me, just be yourself. And it's so hard to just be yourself because you're always trying to like live up to a standard or live up to an expectation. And at that point in my life, I was really looking for external validation. I wanted people to tell me you're a good leader. I wanted people to tell me you're good at what you do. And I think as a result of that, I was kind of performing. And that was a big fail for me because the more I'm in my authenticity, the more I am able to really connect to a purpose. And when I connect to my purpose,
You're unstoppable. You're unstoppable.
unstoppable.
Yeah.
And I just needed to go through those phases in order to be here.
Yeah, you know, on a much smaller scale, I remember my first job at Unilever. I was this young graduate. I'd finished university, and I started working at Unilever. And I thought, okay, you're working now, you better be quiet, sit behind your computer and just do things. And, you know, I thought I had to be the standard professional, you know. And I remember one day, so this went on for years, and then one day my boss saw me at a party. I was dancing on a table and just being my utter self.
That's the best.
And she was like, "Who is that person? And who is that person? Can you just bring one person to work?" And that was my realization that actually being who I am is not unprofessional. It's not good. You know, you can. It's where the magic happens when you're in flow, when you're just who you are. And that's a brilliant lesson that we all learn, right?
Yeah.
Karlien?
Ooh, I had enough time. and then you realize, just go with what that first light bulb when you ask the question, you know. So two examples that I will give, and it's a continuous failing and getting up, is the balance, getting the balance right between work and personal life. I think that's so important for us as women and for everyone, but for us to be successful at work and come and be a leader for the teams and show up, we also have to leave home being a successful, committed partner and being a proud mom, going to work. Because if those goes out of balance, then you can't succeed in the one if the other one is failing. And it's sometimes because we are loyal, and maybe we're giving our age away. You know, we're loyal and we want to work hard. When you have to choose, you choose work because you have to make money and you have to support. But then the other side struggles or suffers. So that is a continuous journey for me, and I'm sure for other women and men, to get that balance right. And then the second example, or real life that I've experienced and that I know, is when I fail people. Mm-hmm. So when everyone says people don't leave the company, they leave their boss. Yes. So I've had an experience where a person has left the business because of me, and then to reflect, to say, what did I do to really push a person that hard that he has to feel that he has to leave, and that really for me, and all the aha moments comes together to say that everyone wants to succeed, everyone wants to come and don't want to feel like a failure when they're at work, and to get that right, to say, everyone wants to be here, they want to contribute, and let's make sure when they go home with a full tank so that they can also be there for their families.
Absolutely lovely. Super.
And can I add to that?
Yes.
So in terms of balance, at the beginning as well, I took the decision that I really want to just push myself. And that was perfect, right? Because then it helped me to build myself. And I'm in that space now where I want to have my cake and I want to eat it. And I want to be in spaces that will allow me to do that. So, those are the decisions that you make based on what is important to you. So from a value perspective, balance is really important. Freedom is really important. Authenticity is really important. And I will make my decisions based on those three values because I want to be able to get everything and have everything and be everything that I want to be. And I'm no longer in a space where I'm going to settle for anything less.
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I'm sure, so we're coming to the end of this incredible podcast, The Best Builders. She builds. I mean, I'm so proud of you ladies for everything that you've built. I'm proud of the inspiration that you've shared today. Before I sign off, are there any little advice that you would like to give to our listeners, our viewers? Is there anything that you'd like to share? Just last parting words.
So for me, I'd love to say to you, don't get caught up in double standards. You are a woman and you don't need to be soft and aggressive and this and that, or likable, or whatever the case is. Like, find that space where you can really fulfill within yourself, fill your cup, give to yourself first, prioritize yourself, be selfish, and then you'll be able to give to the world, to the corporate, to your job, to whatever it is. So fill your own cup and don't get caught up in the double standards. If you're in a space where you are actually needing to be a little bit more aggressive, be aggressive. If you're in a space where you need to be a bit softer, be softer, but do what feels right for you. Don't do things because somebody is saying, or somebody thinks, or this is the feedback. Like, take feedback, but then come back to your own center and act from that.
Beautiful. So I'll close off by saying, like you've said, be authentic. Dance on the tables if you must. It's wonderful to do so, right? And
Gonna try that.
yes, I wanted. I'm from supply chain. I wanted to add, but safely. So safety first. So, but
Always, safety, always.
safety first because we care. Quality a must.
I can't believe you slipped that in. Johan's going to be so proud.
Yes, and then lastly, and I've said it when we started, but many women worked and gave their lives for us to be able to sit here and to have a seat at the table. So let's make sure when we go sit at that table that we own our space, that we speak up, and we start to redesign the table for the many women that will come after us.
Absolutely. An inspirational morning with my two outstanding guests. So the key takeaways: be authentic, be who you are, find out who you are, stand up for yourself, and lastly, pay it forward. Signing off from the She Builds podcast 2025 Women's Month, HEINEKEN Beverages, your host and your guests.
Woo!
Thank you.